Hello Taurus, how y'all doing? Welcome to your October 2017 reading. I was pre-shuffling the cards for you all and the Emperor flew out. So that for me, and I wanted to stick with it because I feel like this is very strong for you all right now. So with the Emperor flying out, you know, Major Arcana as your energy right now with the Emperor, feeling very in control, feeling like you're on top of your game, feeling like there's a lot of things that you've just conquered or overcome, whether that's in work or business or in your family life or your relationships. There's definitely a sense, I'm going to readjust this so you don't have to see the mess over there. But there's definitely a sense that, you know, I feel very powerful right now and I feel like the ruler and the commander of my life. That, you know, there are some resources coming in for you all that you're able to really take a hold of and manage properly. And that also that as a result of being in the situation that you all feel that you can now give to other people, or that you have the capacity and the ability to, because the Emperor is the ruler of all the kingdoms, right? So the Emperor is the king of all kings. The Emperor has the ability to give resources to all of these different kingdoms. So, you know, you feeling like, you know, I can help people out and I can, you know, I can be, you know, I can be a conduit for, you know, helping other people to manifest things physically in their lives. And that actually really rings true for me just in general about y'all's energy. Like, I really love Tauruses. Not sure what the plural version of that, the proper plural version of that would be. But I've often said, not on any of my videos, but just in general in my life experience, that, you know, whenever I've sort of have been, you know, life goes like this, right? You know, we go up and we go down. We have moments of feeling really on top of it and moments of feeling like, man, like this shit can't get any worse. And whenever I've been here where I'm like, man, shit can't get any worse, the people that have usually always come through for me and have really been able to provide, you know, provide things to me physically in a physical sense has always been a Taurus. And, you know, it's like, here, I know that you don't want to take it because you're too proud, but here's money for your gas, here's money for, you know, for gas for your car, here's a place to stay, here's the shirt off my back. And that's been my experience with a lot of Taurans in my life. And you know, I have a lot of Taurus in my chart. It's one of my dominant signs. And I'm also I have a lot of second house activity, like, you know, crazy second house activity. And also Venus is my planetary dominant. So I feel very connected to, like, I understand, right, that the Tauran energy of being able to provide for oneself and to be self-sufficient, right? And that slow and steady wins the race is kind of, you know, my Mars is in Taurus. So I when I go out into the world, and the way that I kind of operate is that of, like, you know, a Taurus. And even in my personal relationships, very touchy-feely, can be, you know, very sensual. So let's see what else is going on for Taurus. But yeah, we have the Sun, second card. So far, really powerful energies and really great energies for you all. So let's see what else is going on for Taurus. I haven't looked at any of the astrology, really, for any of the signs, except, you know, I know where Jupiter's moving into Scorpio, which is going to be, I believe, your 7th house, because Scorpio is your opposing sign. So so Jupiter's currently still in Libra, as I'm doing this video. So Jupiter is going to be moving from your 6th to your 7th house, during the month of October. So new opportunities regarding one-on-one relationships, new opportunities for business contracts, even. The business side of things is really feeling very heavy for you all right now. Let's see what else is coming for Taurus. The Moon. Okay, so some really powerful energies thus far. What else is coming up for Taurus for October 2017? And currently, as I'm doing this video, I believe the moon is also transiting Taurus too. So we have the moon. The moon's in your sign as I'm doing this video. The Chariot. And I also have Jupiter. Jupiter is in Taurus in my personal chart, in my 5th house. So I feel that Taurus has definitely played a larger than life role in my personal life. Y'all got a lot of major arcana, so let's see what else is. I want to see what else is going on, because these are really big energies, and I'm definitely going to pull more cards as we go along. Knight of Cups. New opportunities coming in for love. Yeah, because we have Jupiter moving into your 7th. So as I pulled this card, I heard be aware as this card was falling out, as the 2 of Swords was falling out. Let me quickly readjust because I'm not liking this setup very much. Okay, loves, I'm back. Just didn't really readjust. I just wanted you to be able to see the cards. So yeah, let's get into the reading. So there's a lot of really great stuff happening here. I am a little bit concerned about this 2 of Swords at the end, and like I said before, I heard be aware as this was sort of falling out of the deck. So be aware, whatever sort of stalemate that you may find yourself in at the end of the month, but we'll get to it as we get to it. And I'm definitely going to pull cards to figure out what these bigger energies are sort of meaning for you. So here in the beginning, like I said before, we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is surrounded by the Sun and the Chariot. So definitely feeling very powerful, very sort of, you know, like you are in charge, like you are in charge, of your life. You are sort of the captain of your ship, so to speak. And that makes a lot of sense because we have the Chariot here, and the Chariot is the driver. The Chariot takes the reins and is very much in control of whatever destiny they sort of they choose, right? And so I feel that being here has also given you the ability with the Sun. The being here in this situation, there's a lot of eyes on you. There's a lot of people watching you. There's a lot of people that are definitely sort of you have been put in the spotlight, so to speak. You are in the spotlight at the moment. And it's been a long time coming, I definitely feel that it's been a long time coming, that things are balancing out for you. And like I said before, with this Emperor card, that you now feel that you are in a situation where, you know, because you've gathered some resources, because you've worked your ass off and you've done a lot of the work, and whether this is actual work, like physical work, financial work in relationships. Sorry, my phone keeps buzzing. Whether like you've done a lot of work, and as a result of that, you know, you're very visible at the moment. The Sun to me definitely reads as a Leo card. Definitely reads as being in the spotlight. It definitely reads as having the rays of the sun kind of shining upon you and illuminating you. And I feel that, you know, as a result of that, you are now in a situation where you're here. This is you. Being able to sort of give back, being able to provide, right, for other people. Be mindful though, right? Be mindful of who you're giving to and how much of what you're giving. Because we also have the Moon and the Two of Swords here. So I do feel that there is a situation here where, you know, things, be aware, right? And this Moon also, to me, represents things, well, not just to me, but in general, the Moon definitely represents things that aren't seen, things that are kind of hidden, things that we need to be made aware of, the shadow aspect of a situation that we need to be made aware of. So I'm gonna, now at this point, I kind of want to clarify the, this top row here. So can I get clarification for the Emperor? For Taurus, clarification for the Emperor. What I might start doing is doing Celtic crosses. We'll see. Yeah, y'all, a foundation has been built. There's a lot of abundance and joy in your life right now. There's celebration happening. There are really beautiful things. There's a person that you're standing here with, right? This is, a partner that you've been able to really establish a connection with. And if you're not in a relationship, or if you're not dating, or if you're dating and it hasn't gotten there yet, there's still abundance in your life. If you are dating somebody and it's going well, that like this person is somebody that you can share in this with. And this is actually to me a great combination, because the Emperor is, before we enter into, there is that cliche saying that before we enter into relationships, that we need to be sort of, a whole person in it of ourselves. We need to be able to, we need to be abundant within ourselves before we can walk into a relationship, because we can't expect a relationship to bring us our abundance. We have to recognize that we are abundant beings. We are love. We are all of that within ourselves from the beginning, right? And then once we can recognize that, once we see that we are love, once we see that we are abundant situations sort of enter and sort of provide for us and bring that in. But, we just had Jupiter in your 6th house, right? In Libra, 6th house representing the house of discipline, right? I see the 6th house as representing the house of self-discipline, our work ethic, our health, our day-to-day routine, and, Jupiter definitely bringing blessings into that area of your life. And as a result of taking those blessings, right, as a result of maybe, having a little bit more self-discipline, a lot more self-discipline, as a result of taking opportunities to enhance your day-to-day life, to enhance your health, to enhance, your work life and, your finances and the work that you do to be responsible, right, for yourself and for other people too, that, there's abundance that's coming. There is a sense of celebration in that area of your life where the physical aspects of your daily routine, the physical aspects of your life are really feeling beautiful right now and are feeling very sort of, there was a lot of work this Emperor took to get here. This Emperor worked very hard. He's wearing armor. He's wearing war gear, right? Like, so he's been through battle. But he came out of that battle, and now it's like I get to sit on my throne and sort of be the center of attention and to have this light shown on me, right? And so the feeling that things are kind of balancing out for you. Can I get clarification for the Sun, please? Can I get clarification for the Sun? So I keep seeing the 8 of Cups popping out. And I think that has a lot to do with this Moon card here. So we'll get to the Moon card. But can I get clarification for the Sun as well, please? Seven of Pentacles. A lot of you have been doing some serious work. A lot of you have really just been putting your head down and working. There's a lot of ideas that you have. There's a lot that you have to offer financially. And that whatever it is that, because I feel like whatever the Sun touches, it's going to grow. I feel like there's some more stuff that you all are trying to plant. There are some more ideas that are trying to take seed. That the Sun is definitely gonna. The Sun is illuminating, right? Your work ethic, your ability to see things through to the end, which I don't really think has ever been a problem with Taurus. Y'all aren't quitters. Y'all have endurance like crazy. But I feel like that endurance is really paying off, and that endurance, that enduring quality of you is actually what's sort of giving you the spotlight at the moment. That y'all have sort of gained this reputation. Some of you have gained definitely, and again, this is a general reading, but a lot of you have gained a reputation as definitely being somebody who, you know, will see things through to the end, very dependable, a bit meticulous, but nonetheless a hard worker. A lot of you have gained that reputation, right? And as a result of being this hard worker, it's earned you a spot it's earned you a space in the spotlight. It's earned you some respect. It's also earned you some freedom, right? It's like the idea that, like, you know, when you enter into a new job, you have to work, like there's this sentiment that we have to work really hard to kind of prove ourselves and to earn our place and to earn our respect. Do I quite agree with that, you know, with that way of thinking? Not necessarily, but I understand where it comes from, right? This need that we have to kind of prove ourselves, especially in work situations, especially within the framework of capitalism, that we kind of have to prove our worth before we can be worth anything ourselves. Like we have to prove that we can produce something that's of value. And y'all are definitely doing that at work, especially. I feel that a lot of you are and it's paying off. It's paying off tenfold right now, right? The Six of Pentacles always for me represents a card of karma and what goes around comes around, and the balancing out of things, especially when it comes to finances, especially when it comes to material possessions, when it comes to your value, right? That you know, what goes around comes around. Past lives, what do we do in the previous life that's not going to affect us in this life? But I feel that a lot of you are definitely enjoying the fruits of your labor, so to speak. The fruits of your labor are allowing you to say, okay, now I can create a foundation for myself. Now I can create a foundation for myself. I feel in control. I feel in control of what's happening around me. Right? And in that control, right, we have the Six of Wands here. So the Victory card. And again, this is all attached to work. So victory coming out of a really difficult time financially. I'm still kind of concerned about the moon and the two of swords there. So can I get clarification for the moon? Why is the moon here for Taurus? Why is the moon here for Taurus? Because it's not really fitting right now. Why is the moon here for Taurus? Why is the moon here? The Devil. Okay. So there's somebody, possibly a Capricorn, right? There's somebody, and I'm trying to feel out what's happening. Saturn is still in Sagittarius. Sorry, I'm trying to calculate where Sagittarius is in your chart. I'll come back. Okay, so Saturn currently in Sagittarius is transiting your 8th house. And yeah, that's okay. So there's potentially, you know, a person, you know, that is asking of resources for you. Okay, I'm seeing a relationship here now. So these these four really speak to, you know, your own individual success and what you've been able to accomplish on your own, right? Emperor really representing Aries for me. So there is this energy, this sense that you have been able to accomplish all of this on your own. You have been able to sort of create this foundation, this life that you want to have for yourself, whether it was a new house or a new apartment, or to rent that place that you've always wanted to rent and to be able to afford it by yourself. Because Taurus, second house, is all about self-sufficiency and how can I utilize my own resources to generate income for myself? Like how can I use me, myself, and I to sort of generate the material wealth and well-being and abundance that I want to see for myself? And so that's definitely been something that I feel that a lot of you have been working on, and that you've accomplished, right? We have the victory card, like I said before. So I'm definitely sensing that this is, you know, one thing here, and that we have another situation sort of going on here regarding, you know, for those of you who are dating somebody or who are in a partnership where there are shared resources, there are shared finances, and you're a bit apprehensive, right? Like there is this sense that like, well, now I'm making this money and I've been able to sort of accomplish these things, and I've been able to kind of prove myself at work as being somebody who is very dependable and as somebody who has endurance to see things through, right? The Seven of Pentacles card, this guy is seeing this harvest through. He doesn't know what's going to come of it, but nonetheless, he has seen it through. And I believe that quality, and that's a very strong quality of Taurus, right? And that quality in and of himself has earned, you know, them the spotlight, has earned them some freedom at work, has earned them some respect at work, has earned them, you know, a positive and glowing reputation, so to speak. And that in that you have a lot more control now regarding your financial and material life. But now we have a situation where it's like, okay, well, I'm making this much money, or I have this influx of resources that I've been able to kind of generate for myself. I want to be able to sort of give back or, you know, provide for others. I believe, you know, when someone's moon is in Taurus, they're called the provider, right? Cancer moon, the nurturer, Taurus moon, the provider, like being able to provide, sort of material, you know, material, food, clothing, like all of those things that sort of come up for second house issues, second house themes. Don't mind my stuttering. I'm like I'm thinking, I'm piecing everything together as we go along. So, you know, now you want to be able to provide, right, for those that are around you, right? And there's somebody around you, right? We have, you know, a water sign, a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, who you now feel that like, I want to take care of. And the dynamic between water signs and earth signs tends to be that where earth signs want to provide, right, want to provide materially for water signs, whereas water signs will provide emotionally, right, and will give earth signs an emotional sort of, will be an emotional outlet, or can provide, you know, the emotional connection that earth signs also desire, right? Water signs are very equipped to do that. Water kind of, you know, water helps to grow and sort of breathe life into earth, right? You need water in order for things to grow. So this can be a very positive sort of dynamic when we have earth and water energies coming together. But, you know, we also have this devil card that I pulled out to clarify for the moon. And so, and we have Saturn transiting in your 8th house, right, until December, until Saturn goes home to Capricorn. And also there could be a person, right? There's this person in your midst who you have to be very mindful. Like there's something about this person that it's kind of, you haven't quite seen this aspect, this part of themselves yet. And I'm trying to find a way to not say it and not be blunt, but I'm just going to go ahead and be blunt. This person could be potentially using you for financial resources, and not in a positive way. Having Saturn in your 8th house is going to bring difficult lessons and has brought, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you have sort of observed and recognized, has brought to you recognition of the resources that you give to significant others, the resources, because 8th house is all about, on top of representing, death and rebirth and regeneration, also has to do with how I merge my resources with a significant other, how I merge my finances, like how do I utilize other people's money, how do I utilize my partner's money. And so having Saturn there, you've had to learn some lessons about, well, how am I how do I share my resources with my significant other, right? Or how am I utilizing their resources? Or what is there a balance in how resources are being shared between me and my lover, or the people that I date, or the people, I dated a Taurus earlier this year, and a lot of what came up for him, in a lot of what he talked to me about in the relationship, was that he felt as though he, was always sort of this person that had to provide for, or was, this person that had to look out for and take care of significant others and partners and people that he was dating, and that he was kind of feeling resentful about it. That he wasn't really enjoying it anymore, that he was feeling taken advantage of by people that he has a child with somebody who he feels like, has taken advantage of him financially in the past, and still does so, right? So a lot of that has been coming up for a lot of Taurans regarding, like, I have these resources and I'm so giving and I'm so willing to give what I have to offer. And like, I've made my money, I've bought my house. I've earned this reputation. My work is outstanding, right? Like, I'm in control. I'm able to sort of make decisions in my life today. I'm able to sort of do what I want to do in my life, right? I've earned that space where I'm able to sort of do what I want to do in my life, go where I want to go, right? And I don't have to worry about it because I have the money to back it up, or I have the resources to back it up. Like, you've done some good work financially. And now it's like, but I have this person here, or I continue to find myself dating people or in situations, romantic situations. It doesn't have to be with a water sign. It could be with anybody, right? There are romantic situations where you're offering way too much, where you are giving way too much than you're receiving. And when I heard be aware, it's like there has to be a realization, right? Like, I feel like you all know it and you feel it, but there's also this desire to not really want to face it, right? Like, when the moon comes up, especially with these 2 of Swords, there is an issue that you're not really wanting to face. There is an issue that you're not really wanting to come to terms with. And Saturn is all up in your 8th house telling you, like, you have been able to generate and create resources for yourself. And now I'm witnessing you and seeing you sort of giving it away to people, to lovers, to people who you're merging with financially. And it's not really for your highest good, right? It's like you're feeling like you're constantly here and everybody else is constantly here asking you for things. And that was another thing that the Taurus I was dating kind of felt like. Everybody was always asking him for something, right? And as a result of that, I always did my best to not really ask him for things. But then, he would offer, like, he would freely offer, things to me, small things, right? He would, then would kind of feel resentful about it. And then this energy would sort of pop up and he would feel like, oh, but like, that doesn't make me feel good. Like, is this person using me? What's going on? Like, and even though, and I felt like, you know, a lot of times there were things that he was taking out on me or on our situation that I was like, this is from the past. These are from relationships previous to me. But I'm witnessing that this person is really frustrated with how they feel like they're continuously giving, especially their financial and material resources in relationships. And it's really a cycle that needs to be broken. Saturn wants you to break that. Saturn wants you to be a little bit more discerning with how freely you're giving your resources. Like, who are you giving your resources to? Are you setting a boundary, right? Are you drawing a line in the sand, so to speak? Or are you continuing to just really, are you giving stuff away? You know? And it's like when we're in this energy, when we feel really good and we feel victorious, we want to share that. We want to offer that. Right? But you could be offering it to somebody who doesn't even recognize what's standing right in front of them. Like, y'all are so giving, y'all are so loving, right? And y'all have the capacity to really, you know, provide for other people, especially when you have the resources. That's what you want to do. You want to provide for other people. You want other people to feel the joy and the stability of what you created. But don't forget, you created it. You created it and you get to enjoy the benefits of it. And if somebody comes along and wants to share in that with you, right? Somebody comes along and it's like, hey, like, I want to share in your resources with you when I want to merge with you financially. Well, ask them, well, what are you also bringing to the table? What do you have to bring to the table as well? Because I can't be the only one anymore. Right? And I do feel that this energy, as, you know, Saturn is continuing, as Saturn is really reaching its peak in your 8th house, and it's going to be moving in to Capricorn, you know, pretty soon. It's going to be going home, that these lessons are becoming more amplified for you. Right? This is becoming more amplified. And we're also going to have Jupiter moving into your 7th house, in your 6th house right now. Right? And so, you know, being very mindful that as Jupiter moves into your 7th house, that, you know, themes regarding relationships, abundance of connections, one-on-one connections can really be possible for you all. But don't forget, like, Saturn and Jupiter kind of do this dance with one another, right? Jupiter wants to see how far it can go before Saturn says, nope, all right, we got to actually stop the overindulgence now, right? And Taurus, I have a lot of Taurus in my chart, so I know how that goes. I know that Taurans can also be about that good life. Like, y'all want to live a good life. I get it. I do too. I have Mars and Taurus and Jupiter in Taurus. So I want to live that good life, right? But Saturn also wants you to live that good life with limitations and boundaries. Especially right now regarding how you are relating to and giving your resources, right? Do you feel like you're in bondage to another person financially, right? Like, do you feel like in your 8th house sector, in that area of your chart that deals with how you merge your resources with people, that you feel like you're in bondage to people financially? Right? And that kind of feels overwhelming. Like I mentioned before, the guy that I was dating before, who was a Taurus, had a child with somebody before. And, you know, he feels not only, and he feels obligated to take care of his child financially, rightfully so, as he should. But he also feels like, and I got to take care of his mom, which can be a bit overwhelming because she kind of takes advantage of me. And I don't appreciate that. I don't like it. Well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, Taurus? Like, are you going to allow it to continue to happen? Or are you going to say something about it? Are you going to set a restriction or a boundary? You know, like, you know, I'm totally down to help us take care of our child, but I am not financially responsible for you. You don't get to take my resources for granted, right? You don't get to take my resources for granted. You don't get to do that. I want to know who this Knight of Cups is. Can I get clarification for the Knight of Cups for Taurus for October 2017? Who is this Knight of Cups? Okay. Okay. Who is this knight? And again, we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. So the Knight of Wands, generally somebody who's very apprehensive. I feel that you all are beginning to awaken, right? To like what's going on here with the moon and the devil, right? And I feel that has a lot to do with Saturn being in your 8th house and things coming to light regarding your 8th house that like, oh, I'm allowing myself to be in these romantic situations where, or these partnership situations where like, yes, we can merge emotionally, but I also feel like now we're merging financially and I'm not really too comfortable with that. I'm not feeling that so much, right? There's a realization regarding, you know, and I think this could be a new person, right, coming in, and there's definitely some apprehension about, well, okay, I don't want to, you know, date a new person. I don't, you know, this person's making me a bit nervous, right? It's making me kind of reflect on what's happening with me internally, emotionally, and that there is sort of this stalemate of not really wanting to move forward, or I don't want to say move forward, but not wanting to continue with the same pattern, but you got to face the pattern. You have to lift up the blindfold to see the pattern. Can I get I want to clarify the Two of Swords as well. Can I get clarification for the Two of Swords? Clarification for the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's like, what do I do? Do I let this person in? Do I, like, how do I, like, how can I balance out, right? Like, now it's like, well, how do I maintain a balance, right? How can I actually, like, these two cards to me are about the balancing out of things, the evening out of situations. But this to me more so maintains, like there's work that's required in maintaining the balance. Once this balance is achieved, it's set, right? Once the Six of Pentacles, you know, is represents balance and represents things sort of evening out. Karma has evened itself out. It's set. But when we have this Two of Pentacles, it's also a meticulous dance of how do we maintain that balance? How do I maintain this balance with this person to where I'm not allowing my resources to be drained, or I'm not feeling now in bondage to this person regarding my resources? And how can I, like, I really feel like this is like two separate readings almost. And over here, you know, this is about second house, 8th house, second house, 8th house. Like, y'all, second house activity has been on point. Like, y'all are doing all that you need to do to generate income for yourselves. Y'all are doing really well at work. You just had Jupiter in your 6th house. So you've had, you know, abundance come in for your work life and for your self-discipline. And you've been you've been on point with that. And now we have 8th house activity here where it's like, but I continue to see my resources being drained by, like, people that I'm dating, or this one person that I'm in a relationship with, or this new person's coming in, and I don't want to see, like, I'm not interested. Are they only into me because, like, I have money, right? Like, are they only into me because, like, I've been able to create this good life for myself, or I'm on my way to creating this, or I have a plan. I have the foresight to recognize how to get this here. So be very, just, you know, be mindful and good. Y'all are beginning to awaken to that, to that energy of like, oh, like Saturn's in my 8th house. Like, I need to be more mindful. And sometimes Sagittarius being in Saturn, like Sagittarius energy, which is where your 8th house is, you know, can be very optimistic and can, you know, wants to believe in the best and the good in all. And sometimes, you know, when it comes to giving out resources to people, we have to be mindful that, like, no, like, you're going to get cut off now. I can't continue to give to you. Why? I don't need a reason why. Like, I worked hard for this. This is mine, right? And as selfish as that may sound, or as harsh as that may sound, it's also the truth. So let's get an outcome card for Taurus for October 2017. Outcome for Taurus for October 2017. The Hierophant. I feel that this represents, I just heard putting yourself on the pedestal. Be mindful of that. Like, don't like go over, right? Like, don't make yourself into something to be worshipped. But I definitely see, I see you all placing yourselves in like the recognition of like, what I have to offer is a lot. What I have to offer is golden. What I have to offer, you know, a lot of people want after it, but it doesn't mean that I have to like give it to everybody. I can set a limitation. I can set a boundary. You know, for some of you, this could also represent that, like, in the process of recognizing that you're merging resources with a person, with a lover, that marriage might become an option, that actually be like, okay, well, like, let's actually make this a legal thing, right? And that also can be very, that can ring true for a lot of you, because we have Jupiter, again, moving into your 7th house, moving into Scorpio, moving into your house of partnerships, moving into how you merge with people, right? Moving into how you harmonize and kind of come together with people, contracts, marriage contracts, business contracts. So in a lot of ways, this can also represent some of you moving forth, going forth with some business contracts, right? Or moving forth with a marriage contract, right? To kind of solidify the situation that's happening here, so that there's a legal framework that's being put in place. There's something legal, right, that's being put in place to kind of help protect your assets, right? To kind of keep them on this pedestal, to kind of keep them safe, essentially, right? That some of you are considering like, okay, well, if I'm going to keep being with this person, or I love this person, I want to be with them, but I also want to protect myself and my assets, or whatever it is that I've just worked really hard for to create for myself or my child or for my family. I'm going to protect it, right? So that's what I'm picking up for you all for October for 2017. So I hope that you enjoyed your reading, or that you got something out of it. Again, these are general readings, so not everybody is going to relate to this. Not all Taurans are going to relate to this energy right here. If that's the case, you know, there's a bunch of other readings that you can check out on YouTube. You know, I look at readings myself. And sometimes they just don't apply to me. I'm like, okay, this wasn't for me. That wasn't lined up to be my reading. But if you'd like a personal reading with me, I've left all of my information in the description box below, where you can contact me, my email and my website. And I will see you all in November, and I love you guys. All right, bye.